really took my breath away. One of the MPs for Birmingham, Tahir Ali, Labour, had a little bit of criticism because he spent a lot of time last week banging on about a campaign to build a new airport in Pakistan. If you don't live in Birmingham, you may not realise there's been a refuse strike in the city.
With rats running around all over the place.
Rats are so large, they are now causing damage to vehicles which hit them in the street. It is a Labour-run council. It is a bankrupt council. It is the largest local authority in Europe. And Matthew Larser, your Labour colleague, is banging on about an airport in Kashmir. Oi, mate, what about the day job and sorting out this shameful bin strike?
Well, to be fair, it's not...
No, why am I going to be fair? I just want you to say your view.
So my view is the timing is not great, and in fact, there's a whole host of Labour MPs who back this. The reason is because lots of... it's about 20 people, 20 Labour MPs. The reason is because members of their community, their constituents who have Pakistani heritage, want this airport to open up so they can make it easier to connect with families.
No, it's outrageous.
It's not his job to fix it.
It's utterly outrageous.
It's the leader of the council.
Matt, for goodness sake.
No.
For goodness sake, you're trying to talk as though, it's normal for an MP in Birmingham to work on an airport 4,000 miles away to make it more convenient for some of his constituents to go and see their families.
Don't tell me it's down to the leader of the council. As a member of Parliament for Birmingham, he's got a duty to speak out about this.
And he has spoken out about it.
This bin strike is causing real health issues. The rubbish, Mike, is so bad. The rubbish is moving.
Oh, of course it is.
Because there are rats and foxes in the rubbish.
And we need to stop
Absolutely.
And we've got this idiot, Tahir Ali, forgive me, I shouldn't call me an idiot, this MP with curious priorities banging on about...
People's walls in front of their homes in Birmingham are starting to crumble because of the weight of the debris that's there and the way that the rodents are burrowing in below the pavement. It's an outrage.
Absolutely, it needs to be settled, and the unions need to get around the negotiating table.
The Labour Council cut the pay of the refuse workers by some of them up to £8,000. They are now paying agency workers to man the bin lorries. They probably, the money they've cut from bin workers' wages, they've now expended on agency work. Matthew, there is no logic to this.
So there is a logic to it, which is that Birmingham has had... So, look, I'm not...
Logic? The rats running around.
And I'm not... And it's not a job I fancy either. And I'm not a Brummie, I'm a Mancunian. But the reason that they've had... this is part of this decades-long equal pay dispute in Birmingham, which Birmingham, as the largest local authority in Britain, has been... So it's
largest in Europe.
In Europe, yes, sorry, absolutely, in Europe. So it has been mandated, this equal pay structure, by the courts. It's a complete mess. They had to sell off the NEC to fund part of the original thing.
They should find the money somewhere else. One of the most important jobs of a council is street lighting, road safety, bin collection.
It has to be.
They're making huge cost things in Birmingham. They've cut all things like their arts budget's completely gone.
The
library budget.
Film crews, Mike, are flying in from around the world.
Yeah, it's awful.
To look at
they can't believe it.
City.
They can't believe it. They can't believe it because, look, I don't use the term third world as a derogatory term, but we're certainly not first or second world when people are coming from distant parts of Asia to point out that the second city in this country, the United Kingdom, which once proudly introduced civilization to the world, is now looking very much like what used to be called a third world country.
The dispute needs to be settled.
Just finally, when's it going to be settled? And when is Sir Keir Starmer going to knock heads together and get a grip?
Well, we've seen the Tories call for there to be a Cobra meeting about it today. I think it's Angela Rayner's department. I think Angela needs to knock some heads together.
Well, why doesn't she?
Yeah.
Good question. She should.
Matt, if we weren't giving the Chagos Islands £9 million a year, couldn't we use that money to clear up what's going on in Birmingham?